Probably you have never heard before about the DGET function as a lookup function in Excel, but let me tell you that it's a very powerful lookup function in Excel in the way that we can compare it with a very popular functions like VLOOKUP, index and match, and even XLOOKUP. And actually it can beat them at special cases that we are going to talk about in this video. Just stay tuned. Before we start, and as usual, let me tell you that the file we'll be using in this video is linked below in the description. You can download it and follow along with me step by step. Let's check the table that we are going to explain on. It's a very simple table containing the categories in the first column and then the total amount of sales for California branch, New York, Texas, and the grand total of the total sales for a specific period of time. Now we are going to check how we can get the New York's total sales for a specific category like electronics. Simply we are going to type equal VLOOKUP and then select the electronics, comma, then the table array. We will select the entire data we are looking in, then comma. For the column index number, we are going to count the column number of the New York City. It's column number 3, so we'll type 3 here, then comma, move to the final part, which is the range lookup, and then we will type 0 or exact match. Close our bracket and press enter. Now if we have a look inside our table, we will find that the electronic sales or total amount of sales in New York City is 7.5k. Let's try to get the same result using the DGET and compare the two functions against each other. Let's select our cell here and start typing equal DGET, and then let's explore what exactly needed to complete this function. It starts with the database, which is the entire table that we are going to look into, and then type comma to move to the field area. The field area is exactly what the column name that we are going to search or to return the result from. So in our example here, we are going to search for the New York City total amount of sales. So we will select that and then comma, go for the criteria. Our criteria here is a little bit different from the VLOOKUP, so you have to select the main header and include the item that you are looking for. So we'll select category and then electronics at the same selection. Let's close our bracket and press enter. Now we had the same result as the VLOOKUP, but there is an advantage here for the DGET function. For example, let's try to change the New York City to be Texas. For example, it's remained the same number, it didn't change, which can make these numbers misleading. On the other hand, if we do the same for the DGET function, let's try that, it's changed. If we have a look on our table, the electronics in Texas is 11.6k, which is correct. Also, we can change the category and figure out whether it's changed or not. Yes, it's changed and got the correct number from our table or from our data set. Which means for this point, or an easy to use, we can say that the DGET has an advantage against the VLOOKUP function in the point of view of the dynamic result. Let's do the same comparison between the index and match and DGET and see who is winner. This is a cell that we are going to try index and match to get the specific result or the total amount sales for electronics in New York. Let's start with equal index, and the first thing needed is the array, which is the entire table that including the data we are searching for and the result, and then press comma to move to the second part, which is the row number. In the row number, in order to make it dynamic, we are going to use match. So let's type match and then select what we are actually looking for. We are looking for the electronics, then comma. In the lookup array, we will select the first column here and then comma 0 for exact match. We will back again to the index function. So we need to press comma to move to the last part, which is the column number, where we are going to use match again to identify the column number dynamically. Let's try match. We are searching for New York, then comma, in that lookup array, the header, then comma 0 for exact match. Close our bracket for match and close final bracket for index, pressing enter. Now we had the same result we got from the VLOOKUP function and from the DGET function at the first place. Let's check our table here. Electronics, New York is 7.5K. If we try to change the category itself and replace that value, it dynamically changed. The same if we try to search for California instead of New York, it worked and it changed dynamically. Let's try getting the same result using the DGET function. So we'll select the cell we are typing the function in and then type equal DGET and then select the database we are searching in and then comma. The field is the New York, then the criteria is the category and electronics, close our bracket, press enter. Yes, it's get me the same number as VLOOKUP, but let's try to get the category here as home and furniture and change New York to be California. Yes, it displayed the same result here. So till now the DGET function can beat the VLOOKUP in a specific point, which is the dynamic result, and be the same result and being dynamic at the same as the index and match. By the way, the VLOOKUP and index and match we already explained before in these videos. I'll keep the link of these videos in the description below. You can check them if you need any information about it. One of the most advantage in the DGET function also that it's already embedded in it a wildcard search. How is that? If we try it, for example, to search for health and wellness, let's try it and put it here. Now it's getting the number as 6K, and also if we changed it to be Texas instead of California, now we can get the correct number. It's 10.5K. But what if I'm trying to search for health only? It will get the same result as it's trying to get the approximate match with the category I already added in the criteria field. But if you are asking if the DGET function doesn't have any disadvantage, if you are wondering about that question, I'll answer you right now. The DGET function is a very powerful function, but it's the same as many functions in Excel. It has its own disadvantage. The first one, which is the wildcard. Wildcards is an advantage in it, but sometimes it's became a disadvantage. How is that? We tried here for health and wellness, but what if we tried home and furniture? Let's put it here. It's showing or displaying the number, the correct number, but what if we cleared the second part and keep it as home? Now it's getting an error. Why is that? If we get back to the data we are searching in, we can figure out that we have two items or two categories starts with home. So the function is confused and didn't know what exactly the number it should return. The second disadvantage here, which is a criteria header. If you change that category into categories, it will fail to retrieve the data from the table. You have to make sure that the header you are referring to is the same header in your dataset table. So you need to change that to be categories in order to have the same result. If you notice that this one is already changed to be an error because it's searching for a category header and it's not exist here in our dataset. The third disadvantage for the DGET that you are not able to drag your formula down. How is that? Let's assume that we are searching also for closing. If we put it here and if we dragged our formula down, now you can see it's getting an error. Why is that? Because the selection is dragged down with the formula, and if we try to change the selection to be searching for categories, and this one the field is searching for Texas, also change this selection to the right place, and if we press enter, it's the same error. If you would like to retrieve the number for clothing, you have to move it down and put the same headers above it like that, and start updating your selection to be searching for categories closing, and move this selection from that cell to be this cell and press enter. Now you can get the number or the correct number here, 4.5K. Briefly, let me tell you that DGET is a very powerful function, but it's the same as many functions in Excel. None of Excel function is 100% suits all scenarios you are facing. So it's up to you to choose which one is better for you based on your scenario you are facing. If you would like to create a comparison between the DGET function and the XLOOKUP function, just let me know in the comments below. And finally, if you liked this video, don't forget to give a thumb up and make sure to subscribe not to miss any of our upcoming videos. Finally, remember that the file used in this video is linked below in the description. You can download it and try it by yourself. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.